Hey YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you're not new, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Today, as per usual, we're diving into some personal finance, but this time it's my favorite video of the month, my debt payoff update for July. So I will be letting you guys know how much I put towards my debt and what my debt totals look like now going into August. But first, I did want to bring up one of my friends actually asked me, do I or have I ever carried credit card debt and, how I paid that off or whatever. But fortunately for me, I've never carried credit card debt. And so that's never been a part of my debt payoff journey at all. That's something I consider myself very fortunate for. A lot of factors brought me to not needing to use credit cards, especially because I did get a college degree. And so a lot of people get that credit card debt through college. But for me, I had a full ride scholarship. I had cheap rent in an apartment, and I had a job where I could do my homework at work, which let me work more hours. So anytime I needed something, I was able to pick up shifts, or I just already had enough shifts to cover things, even being in a sorority, which everybody says is so expensive, but it can be kind of affordable if you are lucky like me with that full ride scholarship, because that covered my housing costs there. And then all I had to do was have spending money, and I did that through a job. So anyway, that is why I don't carry and have never carried credit card debt. And so I just wanted to put that little blip in there. That's never been a part of my journey. And so I don't have much experience with that. I do have credit cards and I pay them off every month. I've just never gotten into a place where I was carrying that balance forward for more than 1 month. So yeah, if you are someone who is in credit card debt, don't feel bad. Don't feel guilty. It happens to literally so many people, and a very lucky few people don't get in that situation. And I just happen to be a lucky person. So, if you are, just breathe, take a step back. If you're stressed about it, really just take a moment, see where you're at, what's your situation, and research what you can do about it. That's really all you can do, is find a way out. There's always a path out. It's just uncomfortable to even start sometimes. So, if you're in that situation, just breathe. Just breathe and don't blame yourself. It happens to everybody. So anyway, with that, I want to dive into my debt payoff for July, which, as you guys know, I just mentioned, I only have an auto loan and 3 student loans left to go. I had 1 other student loan that was paid off in 2019. So in the beginning of 2021, I started with about $20,000 of debt to pay off this year. And by the end of July, I am at $15,455. That brings me to a total of having paid off $5,246. So that's the first victory this month, that first milestone of I hit 5,000 paid off. That's a good place to celebrate. I'm really happy. So good job, Caitlin. Very happy with that. The other thing that I want to get started with is just what did my payments look like this month? In the beginning of July, my plan was to pay off $3,000 of debt because I was going to put my whole extra check towards it. I was going to put money from a bonus I had hoped I would get towards it. And I always budget is it $794 I always budget? I don't know. I always budget $443, $150, and $500 to go towards it as payments. And so I was budgeting extra. And that obviously didn't happen. I ended up only paying towards my Jeep loan $1,594 this month. And that is because I didn't get the bonus I was hoping for. And I had 2 weekend trips out of state that I was uncomfortable making the extra payment until I saw what those trips did to me financially. Fortunately, they did not do very much damage at all. So I was able to find some money in my July budget once I got back in August to put towards my debt. So it would have been more like $2,100, but since I waited till August, that'll be part of my August payoff. So with that, I ended up making my minimum payment, my student loan money I put towards my Jeep because student loans are in forbearance, and then I made the extra normal $500 payment in my budget, and then I did put an additional $500 from my 3rd check in July because I get paid biweekly, and so that ended up being that $1,594, and then of that, $1,529 went to principal and $65 went to interest. All hunky-dory, sunshine and daisies, very happy with the situation I'm in. I genuinely thought that not hitting the 3,000 goal, that was an insane goal anyway, would make me upset, but it really didn't. I wasn't bummed because like I've learned to give myself a lot more grace through this journey of like trying to pay it down. And every time I see the number go down, even if it's just my normal monthly payment, just the minimum payment, it still goes down like $300 or $400 a month. So I'm like, I'm doing it. Like it's working. It's fine. And this was a 6-year auto loan. And I am still on track, even not paying all that extra money this month. I'm still on track to pay it off this year. So I'm not like upset. I'm actually just really happy that I got to pay as much as I did this month. So yeah, I'll just go over the starting total of my Jeep loan real quick. I started out rocking $7,374. And then going into August, I owe $5,845, which is pretty darn snazzy. I'm getting very close to under $5,000. And that, fingers crossed, I do plan to get that done in August. So I'm getting under $5,000. So the last little thing to show you on this spreadsheet is my little diagram that just makes me feel really good today because I hit 25% of my total in the beginning of the year paid off. Now I did have 36,000 total when you add up all the loans that I had. But in 2020, I did pay off quite a bit. And in 2019, I was, doing my thing. I just wasn't ferociously doing it and I wasn't tracking it as much. So here we are hitting 25% of that 20K, which is about 5,000, and feeling really freaking good about it. With that, I do want to get into my goals for August. So in August, like I said, I am rolling over a $525 payment from July's extra money. And then I am paying my minimum of $440,383, I'm paying my $150, and I'm paying my regular $500 extra. So that should total up to be like $1,600, something like that. I think a little over 16. Yeah, math. And so that's my goal. I'm not trying to go crazy in August. I don't expect any big extra income. It would be really cool if I got that bonus I mentioned in July, but we will see. It's, up in the air. But yeah, so that is my financial goal for August for debt payoff is to pay off about $1,600. And then my other goal is I really, really want to give myself even more grace in that I don't want to be so compulsive. So quick tidbit. We were just talking in the car last night, me and Travis, and we are going to go to a casino during our vacation. And I said, oh, wouldn't it be so cool if I won some money so I could use it for my hobbies? And he goes, well, what are your hobbies? And I was like, you know what? My hobby is actually just paying off debt and tracking it and making videos about it. So that's kind of sad. Not to be mean to myself. I love doing this and it keeps me sane to be tracking as much as I do. But I know that I feel like I sacrifice some fun to do this. And as much as I want to pay off debt, I also still want to enjoy my time with my partner. And I do want to have fulfilling hobbies. So whether or not that means I spend my money on hobbies, I definitely want to keep that in mind this month, that that debt payoff and financial tracking is not the only thing I enjoy, and just to let myself live a little more. So those are my August goals relevant to debt payoff and personal finance. So I hope you guys will check back in at the end of August so I can let you know how it goes. Thank you so much for watching and have a good morning, noon, or night, whatever it is for you.